Hi YouTube world, I hope you guys are okay. So today a friend of mine will be joining me and we're going to talk some things dating. So I brought another person so that we could have different perspectives and see how is that scenery out there. So yeah, introduce yourself.
Hi YouTube, my name is Joyness. I am Mariam's friend. We'll be talking about love, and I'm excited for the conversation.
Love is a bit too deep, but let's say dating.
Dating.
Okay. Dating.
That's right.
Yeah, not love.
Okay.
So basically, how would you describe the dating scenario in Tanzania so far, and how has your dating experience been here and everywhere else where you've been?
Okay. So I think my comparison would be life on campus in uni vis-a-vis life in our mid to late 20s. So I think the biggest difference is there is more at stake when I am dating. So when I'm out on a date, there is more evaluations I'm making in comparison to my 20s, to my early 20s. I'm not that old. But in my early 20s, the biggest thing was, where are we going? I wanted to have a fun experience. I was mostly dating my fellow students. So it was different.
Okay.
It was different. And right now it's more mature in terms of the conversation, in terms of you're trying to evaluate if this person could be somebody I could date for the long run or somebody I could only date just now. So it's a bit more serious than in my early 20s.
And where did you go to uni? Where did you go to uni? Let's get this question straight.
Okay, so for uni, I was in Portland, Oregon, in the US, and so I think at the time I was more interested in international students as a whole. So I mostly went to dates with people from Zimbabwe, people from Nigeria, and so yeah, because at the time you rarely meet fellow Tanzanians in a way, and so you end up really interacting with more the international student group. And I think there are so many times I did not consider the intercultural differences even within Africa, because at the time they are the closest to what you know and what you understand.
They're the closest to
And right now I think in most cases you're only dating Tanzanians at this point, because that's who's around. And
Yeah.
and that comes with differences in how people date. For example, my expectations for a first date can sometimes be different from the expectation I've found in Tanzania in a way. Maybe the guys I've met.
Bro, Tanzanian men can disappoint you, on 100.
Yeah, but at the same time, they are very good. There are people who are amazing daters, but I think for me, for example, I love an experience when I'm on a date. It's not I just don't want to sit at a place and eat. I want to go bowling, I want to go skating. I want something, I want an experience. And I think for most of the guys I have met, a first date experience is mostly, let's go for lunch, let's go to a cafe, let's go somewhere, which is okay, but it's not as memorable in a way.
Oh yeah. So it's funny that Joyce has mentioned that when she was in uni, for her, she was dating her fellow students, which is international students that she had encountered in her campus. But for me,
Wait, you aren't dating students?
I was no, I'm not. I just said no. I think I had a not so, I don't know how to put this. I don't think the men my age around me were a good representation of the men my age out there. So I was is this it? No, I'll choose something else. So I'd always gone for I would say a bit older guys. Not old, but not my age. When I was 19, I was more likely to date a 24-year-old or 23-year-old. So yeah.
Oh, that's so different, because I think at the time in uni, if I met somebody who is like 25, 26, I would feel like they're too old.
Oh, bro, I would be like, hi, daddy.
I know. And I think that's the difference, because I think what I wanted at the time was I wanted somebody who I felt free with, who I could be like silly with. And I wasn't having, to be honest, I wasn't having any serious conversations about life, any serious evaluation about who the person is. It was mostly like, I want to go on a good date, take me skating, take me bowling, take me to a movie. So I think you were more strategic.
No, not really. For me, I think, okay, this is where like the dynamics are very weird, because as you mentioned that you are dating your age mates, so like would have been like more fun and silly and stuff. But I date older guys for the same reason.
Oh, nice.
Like for me, I feel like with like my age mates, I can't be as silly, because I feel like he might tell someone who's around my age, and then that thing will like come around me. So I feel like I can be more silly with like an older person, because in most cases he has friends that are not my friends. So if anything goes outside him, you'd go to someone who does not know me or my cycle.
That's a legitimate fear, and I think it also speaks to like the societal expectations of men and how men. I don't want to go into a whole debate.
A complex subject.
Exactly.
A big complex
because
subject.
I think there are cultural differences in how men, especially younger men, like treat women, and I think there's an element of lack of respect in a way, and so an element of lack of confidentiality in a way.
Yeah.
And I think I can understand that being scary.
Yeah.
So you're
and
not
I think
able
with
to
young
really
guys,
explore.
you kind of like worry of your privacy and stuff. And for me,
Yeah.
that has been like a big concern. So I was like, I'm not risking this thing. Like,
It's so true, even with like social media exposes of people's
Yes.
nudes, like how people talk about like, oh, I've smashed that girl. So I can definitely understand not wanting to date within your circle. Yeah, that makes sense.
yeah, thank God that makes sense. Finally. So, one more thing. Do you think like love is blind? Just like in a nutshell.
So I used to. And then something happened, and like, because I've always wanted somebody I can talk to, be vulnerable with, and in most cases when I look at Love is Blind, the show on Netflix, I felt like that's what I wanted. And there are a few people I have met online, like friends, met friends online, and you feel like you're interested in the person, and when you meet them, the chemistry is just not there. And that was shocking to me, because I always felt I would be that person who just loves somebody for who they are on the inside, and I don't have a type. I don't have a type at all. I can literally date anyone. But I think there is something about their physical presence. It's not even the look, like their aura.
Yeah.
Like it can either speak to you or it might just turn you off in a way. And I felt like a horrible human being for not finding the person I thought on paper was my person attractive in person. And they are an attractive person. Just for me, it was different. So now I feel like I do not want to invest emotionally in getting to know somebody's, like how we speak and all that. I want to meet them and feel the energy. Yeah.
I think the energy will tell you more than just like
Yes.
any description ever will.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think on the phone, it's easy to go deep. It's easy to not see somebody's facial expressions. There's so much details you're missing with not being able to, with being blindly in love with somebody, with the love is blind concept. And I think all those are sources of information on whether you click with this person or not.
Okay. So to wind up, what are your deal breakers, like 3 deal breakers in a relationship?
Yeah.
Like, what attributes could a guy have that could like turn you off?
Okay. So I think number 1 for me is when somebody isn't kind.
Oh, same.
Yeah?
I mean, if you're rude,
Yeah.
I can't. Which is why I take good note when you go with a guy like in public places. I like observe how you're treating the waiters. Like
Yeah,
that speaks so much about you that you know. Like how many thank yous are you saying?
exactly.
I'm
And
counting.
especially like there's somebody who mentioned this thing. I was listening to a podcast last week, and they were saying when you look at a man treat a woman she's not attracted to, that's how they really are.
True.
Because I'm like, yeah, if when we take off the attraction space, how you treat another woman you're not attracted to might tell me about
Yeah,
you.
it kind of like says about who you are on like a deeper surface.
Exactly.
So number 2 would be.
Number 2 would be. I've never really thought about much of that, but like kindness. Number 2 would be somebody who is influenced too much, and so I think I am attracted to people who have
Independent decisions.
independent decision making and who like can reflect on like, is this my decision, is society influencing me in this decision, who can be like self-aware. So when I feel a guy is just like, I'm trying to be cool, this is what is cool, this that it makes me feel like you're not grown.
Definitely it screams child. Child.
And I think there are times I've been influenced as well, but I think for me it's just that self-awareness when somebody can be like, yo, at this moment I'm just feeling pressured. So
number 3?
Number 3 deal breaker, I think somebody who's not able to give love.
A bonus one would be if you're not intimate.
Yeah.
What are we doing? Like, I'm not your sister, you know.
And I think intimacy is such a broad term. So for me, like, I love intimacy when it's all rounded. Like, I cannot handle just being like, yo, come to my place, type of thing. No.
What? The disrespect.
Exactly. Like, I love hand holding. I love for you to walk on the other side of the street, like by the road. Like, those are moments where like somebody can just make you excited about being with them.
Yeah, it's just like little things, and then you kind of like, oh, he noticed.
Exactly.
So they'll be like, cute. Yeah.
Like, there's a guy who I went on a date with, and he was just cutting my meat, like with a knife and fork, so that everything is easy for me to eat. I was just like, I did not ask, but I'm so happy.
Thank you, Lord, for men like him. Anyway, guys, so that's it for this video. This was just so as to see like how, with different perspectives, I think everyone has the right to choose what they want to choose, especially in this dating arena. Like, you choose what works for you. And though the reasons could be the same, the choices could be different, and this was just like an out of nowhere discussion, but we hope it was useful to you.
It was fun. I love being here.
All right, bye-bye. Adios.